Hello and welcome to New South Wales Touch TV, wherever you may be in the touch football world. This is a Blackest Cats presentation of On the Couch, previewing the upcoming State of Origin series in 2008 right here in Sydney. And this segment will focus upon the Men's Opens, a very highly contested and sought after division. I'm joined by New South Wales and Australian legends, Jason Stanton and Tony Takchi. Welcome, gentlemen.
Tony, how are you?
Very good, very good. Great to have you here.
Thanks, mate. Good.
Boys, the Men's Opens division, wow, this is going to be a cracker, I think. Very unsure where this is going to go. Unsure who's going to win. And as we always say, on paper, Queensland look to have a bit more consistency with only 4 debutants, as opposed to New South Wales 7. And 2 debutant coaches. Mark Bus Boland needs no introduction, absolute legend of the game, but first official foray into coaching at this level. And of course, Mark Ruggieri, 3-time series winner of the NTL with the Sharkies, the Gold Coast Sharks. Tony, how do you see this going, and what do you think about this New South Wales team?
Mate, like you say on paper, it almost doesn't seem to be a contest, really. You think Queensland are going to run away with it. But one of the things that I like about New South Wales is the fact that they've got so many new players. They do have Mark Bus Boland as the coach now. I've been able to play against them and actually see some of their training runs, and I've been really impressed with the style that they're playing. Very much an expansive game, a running game. I think that may scare Queensland a little bit. I think they may be looking to more of a Met style, in-your-face, driving it hard up the middle style game. So, whilst you say on paper Queensland certainly look the stronger of the two, but I'm excited about New South Wales and the prospects they have there.
Yes, certainly. I think one thing I'm interested about is you talk about the expansive game, and that's certainly Bus's style and has been with Parramatta, Scorpions and New South Wales. Yet he's got a team that's chock full of Mets, successful Mets team that actually stopped the Gold Coast Sharks' run at the 2008 NTL when they beat them convincingly in the finals. And that's not their style. That's not the Mets style. So that's what I'm going to look for and see what's interesting, whether those Mets players can actually adapt to Bus's style. And if they do, I think you're right. I think an upset's on the cards. If they don't, then they may struggle. But, Drummy's still one of the greats over there in the Sharks, and of course the loss of Gary Sonder through injury, and Sonny Jason Stanton, walking out for a rugby career. I think that's a bit of a loss. So I'm looking for the likes of Hennessy, Springfield and Buckley, 3 very exciting young players to stand up and cover that, because let's face it, we can't rely on Sonder and Stanton forever, can we? Well, you think those boys got it in them?
Look, I mean, like you say, not having Gary and Jason there is a big hole, big set of shoes to be filled. But New South Wales have got some exciting young players, as you mentioned, and don't underestimate them, because let's call them give them the tag of underdog, and just watch these young guys come out and actually excite the crowd.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. Sonny Bill, what do you think about the Queensland team? I've touched on Drummy, and there's always the usual characters in Drummy, Shoots, Phil Guymore, Nathan Jones are all match winners. How do you see them playing? Do you see them changing much in the way they've done things in the past, and that Sharks flavour with Mark McGarry as the coach, and anyone you can see there that might strike you as a bit of a surprise packet for Queensland?
Yeah, you mentioned that they do have 4 debutants, but I don't really view it that way, because Brett Mattis is a former Australian player. Dan Withers in the Australian squad now. He's very dominant as well. I think Queensland are more or less turning up with a very experienced and a very strong side, and they're just going to be looking to dominate and to play the same style. I can't see them doing much different. I think it's going to be very static. I think that they may come into the game trying to move it around and play dump scoop, but I think they will fall back on their habits and play static in the case of, we're too good, you'll have to stop it. I think that's probably pretty much the way the game's going to fall, and that's where it becomes exciting, because New South Wales have got a lot of, it's unknown the way they're going to play, whether they're going to throw it around or be direct, as you mentioned. That's what gives New South Wales a chance. But I think Queensland are going to play a very static game and more or less sort of throw their plays out and say you've got to stop the beaters.
Well, if they're going to not change the game and they're going to play static, of course that may be playing into New South Wales' hands, because it is a predominantly Mets middle, and they did handle that style very comfortably at the series. I know there's a few changes, so I'd like to think they might have a little bit more, because if they are going to have that attitude and adopt that attitude, it may come undone.
Yeah, very much so. I think to beat this Queensland side, it is going to have to be on man to outplay them. I don't think as a team there's way too much experience there. This is almost the identical side that won in Brisbane.
Yep.
And they're all very experienced. They have won. Most of these guys have won 3 NTLs. I think man for man, New South Wales will have to try and beat them that way. I don't think as a team, I think Queensland are going to be able to absorb what New South Wales throw at them, and New South Wales will need something different.
Yeah, and of course, this series has been very balanced throughout the years. Queensland won 2-1, but really dominated in the last series. Previously, whitewashed New South Wales 3-0, but there were a number of Queensland stars that were out, and there was a transition there between the old and the new, and that's probably coming to fruition now. So, traditionally a tight series. Tony, how do you see it going?
Excitement. I'm thinking New South Wales. Yeah, it might sound a bit funny, but I think New South Wales can come through as underdogs here and actually surprise Queensland.
Jason?
I think New South Wales will grab one of the first 2 games, but I think Queensland will get the third.
I think it'll be tight. I can't make a decision, but I'll just ask one more. A player to watch out for that might stand out?
For me, Scott Buckley for New South Wales and Ryan Pollock in the Queensland team.
Jason?
Yeah, I was going to mention Ryan Pollock. I think he's in real good form at the moment, and I think how well he handles the way New South Wales are going to drive at him may determine the outcome.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's going to be one of the games of probably the decade, if not the century. I'm very much looking forward to it. I hope Buff doesn't do his traditional chuck, spew carrots all over the place 2 minutes before the game, because that can be quite messy when it comes from the coach. But for now, on behalf of Blackest Cats and on the Couch segment, we'd like to say goodbye and get yourself out to Tempe to watch a cracking State of Origin series this Friday and Saturday night. Goodbye for now.